Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The Gauteng Education Department says it's monitoring the situation at Pretoria Girls High closely. 12 learners have been suspended over allegations of racism. Protests are believed to have been triggered by alleged racial connotations, microaggressions and complaints about black pupils, which were ventilated through a WhatsApp group. The Gauteng Education Department spokesperson Steve Mabona says it's the third time since 2016 that the school has faced such allegations. Mabona says the disciplinary process will be facilitated on the 30th and the 31st of July. For more, we're joined now by two parents of learners at the school, Ayanda Monareng and Jane Bani. A very good evening to you both. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us this evening. Perhaps let me start with you, Ayanda. As both of you I can only imagine are still processing what has happened, what has transpired, as you try and see what sort of action will take place. What were your first thoughts when you learnt of what was going on through your daughter, Ayanda?
My thoughts were, are we still talking about this this day and age? I was saddened. I was disappointed with how things went and with how the school executive responded to the girls.
And Jane, what were you thinking?
Very much the same. It's very disheartening for our girls at the age that they're in to have this experience. I mean, we are 30 years into democracy. They are very young girls who are in an integrated school who felt like they should be treated equally. But now when you are meant to feel like the exact words that one of the executives said, she said that they have left over apartheid emotions. They should get over it because it's a group of girls having a private conversation, which is against the school's code of conduct. So the racism in that and the way they dismiss them when they try to take the issue to the principal to say, this is what we have seen, this is how are you going to handle it? And it was very painful to see that at this day and age, they still have, with the history of the school, they still have the audacity to tell our kids that it's a private conversation, they should get over it, and it's nothing. Why else? It's causing such a huge division in the school, and it's making them feel less important than their white counterparts.
How old are the girls, if I may ask?
My daughter is 17 and she is in matric.
And
Mine
your daughter?
just turned 18, she's also in matric.
So you've been part of the school system for quite some time. I mean, we heard that this is not the first time that an incident similar to this has occurred. In 2016, an allegation along these lines was also brought to the forefront. Ayanda, did it come as a shock to you, or were you hoping that perhaps what happened in 2016 has been resolved and that it won't impact your daughter?
I was hoping that the school would have changed the narrative, even though this time it's not necessarily about the hair, but it's how the procedure was done in terms of them implementing the school code of conduct. I think this is more of that than actually the hair basically based on what has happened in 2016, it was more of the hair. But this time the girls are saying, can we talk about the code of conduct as it states? The sanction has to be implemented as such, compared to them being dismissed. And remember, this issue was reported last year and nothing was done. And the WhatsApp, what do you call this? The WhatsApp messages resurfaced this year, meaning that over 7 months, nothing was done. Was nothing done because of it was a certain color of girls compared to if it was black girls, maybe something would have been done. All we're saying is that it should be fair. What is done on the left should be done on the right.
Ayanda, with nothing being done for that period of time, we have now learned that the girls from this WhatsApp group have since been suspended, and the SGB and the school management, as well as the principal, are now probing this matter. What kind of outcome are you anticipating? Because this is a matter that has only just been brought to the spotlight now, but was an old incident that you expected should have been resolved long ago.
Basically, the outcome for me would be, for instance, the girls are in leadership positions. How then do you put people who think like that of other races in leadership positions? So because of this thing, it's an ongoing investigation. I would, for me to say that something was done, is for the school to implement a proper sanction, and for the girls to be debadged from their from their roles as prefects.
Jane, what are you expecting and anticipating with an outcome?
For me, they need to follow their own code of conduct. And just to put it into context, the incident took place last year, but it only came into light this year because of the principal was aware of the incident in October, and she decided to just sweep it under the rug, told the girls to exit the group and act like nothing happened. So obviously one of the girls decided to leak the screenshots for the WhatsApp messages, and the principal's first reaction was to act like she didn't know that these things existed. And the second one, when she saw that this matter is serious, now she started making it as if this was a private conversation. And what the girls were really asking was that, because of, we know that if a certain student does this, this is the outcome. Now these people has done this, which is worse than what other people have gotten in the past. Why has nothing been done? So the thing is, they do not act. They choose to act in certain situations. In other situations, the principal acted like she had no idea this took place, whereas she is the one that was aware of the group. She told them to exit it. This was supposed to be something that never came into light. Unfortunately, one of the girls that was on the same WhatsApp group decided to leak the information because she was being bullied, trying to call out the 12 other girls for their racism tone in the messages. Then she went to the principal to say, now I'm being bullied because of this, and I'm no longer enjoying being at school. Then she leaked it to the black girls. That's how we got here. So it's not like they knew from last year that this is what happened. The chats came out last week, Wednesday.
So what kind of action would you like to see?
So they need to, as much as they need to follow the code of conduct. After expulsion, they need to obviously debadge the girls. If they need to be to set an example, because racism in our country is also a big issue. If they need to expel them from school, or that's what they need to do.
Ayanda, very quickly before we let you both go, what kind of impact has this had on your daughter? In terms of the psychological impact. I mean, you speak about how you wouldn't expect to learn of such allegations in 2024.
With me, it becomes personal. It becomes personal to my daughter as well, because I believe that those who fought in the apartheid era did not fight in vain. I lost my dad through that, meaning that my mom lost a husband through that, meaning that my daughter could not enjoy her grandfather through that. So it was disheartening, because remember, she was, if you look at it, she was anxious, she was stressed. You could actually feel that the tension, basically. Luckily that she has a proper support structure at home. If it was not for that, mentally these girls could not have coped. So as parents, we were forced to be psychologists, to say, you know what, on Monday you will go to school, you will walk high, you are who you are, you cannot change your color or your hair whatsoever because you make other people feel uncomfortable. This is who you are. You're beautiful in your melanin skin.
Very powerful. Thank you so much to you both for speaking to us and really just sharing your sentiments there, speaking to the two parents of learners at the Pretoria Girls High, Ayanda Munareng and Jane Bani, as the Gauteng Education Department says it's monitoring that school very closely as 12 learners have been suspended over allegations of racism.